Right, so Q4, we've just hit October, which now means there's less than 90 days to the end of the year. And from my experience, I feel like Q4 is where winners are made because there's generally sort of two types of people. You've got the one group that say, oh, it's too late for me to kind of start something new. I'm going to put it off till the new year. I'll get started in January. And on the other end of the spectrum, you get the people who now say, cool, I had these plans or these goals I set myself for the year. It's getting close to the end. Now I need to move with a bit more pace and a bit more urgency to make sure I get there. And those are the people that take action. And obviously I'll leave it to you to ascertain who are the people that actually get the results. And the reason why I mention this is because I feel like with Airbnb especially, it brings around a lot of opportunity in the Q4 at this time of the year. I'll break it down a few of the reasons why I think that. So the first reason is that a lot of people seem to think in the winter season, this is where demand goes down. You're making less money, there's less people traveling, less tourists and stuff, so you're gonna make less money, which is true. There is normally a lot less sort of tourism, a lot less sort of travelers. So bookings that come from like the OTA platforms like Booking.com and Airbnb, leisure guests who stay for a couple of nights, it generally does dip. But that doesn't mean that you can't make money. There's just a shift that happens in the market. And to really be profitable in these months, this is where you need to target long-term stays. And for us over the years, I mean, I've been very, very profitable over the winter months. And sometimes they've been the most profitable part of the year because they need to hit on certain different types of guests. It's not just solely relying on those short-term stays. One of the biggest ones is going to be contractors. Like work projects don't stop during the winter months, they still continue. There's going to be contractors who require accommodation, and it's going to be perfect to get some nice long bookings throughout the winter months. Another one is actually insurance. So generally this time of the year, I don't know what it is, but things seem to go wrong with people's homes. Maybe they've got boiler issues, floods. I remember someone we accommodated last year, they had like severe mold within their property. And what happens is their insurance company, so their home insurance company, basically paid for them to stay in our accommodation for a few months' time while there's basically all the works is getting done on their house. So that's a great type of booking for someone who's going to stay long-term at your property, and you can charge a premium for that because it's all backed up by home insurance. I've had multiple types of those bookings. Even one that literally just checked out a couple of weeks ago, back in September, he started staying with me on October last year. So it's practically a 1-year booking. And bearing in mind, he's not paying like AST contract tenant rates. He's not paying market rate. These guys are paying a premium to stay at your property because they've got all the additional services and amenities that you provide in a short-term rental. So we've gone a whole year making over £1,000 profit. We're not having to do anything. Just so much as maybe sending around a cleaner every now and then to just check on the property and offer a little courtesy clean. Another one of my properties, we've had the same guy in there over a year now. So you can see if you target these bookings and you understand what different types of guests are going to need accommodation, you can start gaining longer term bookings. And throughout the winter months, it can be the difference between just breaking even and being highly profitable for your property. And a lot of the mentees that I work with are also noticing this now. I know Mo, for example, he's got quite a few direct bookings at the moment, long-term stays at his property. He's looking at me thinking like, what do I do now? Like there's no task for me to do. Other mentees like Kaka, I think Monday to Friday or Monday to Thursday, he's had someone staying at the property for over like 6 months in one of his properties. I know Greg, he's had some long-term bookings. And people are understanding that if you can target these types of bookings, it's so much more money because you've got higher occupancy, there's less stress because there's less work for you to do. And it means your business now becomes passive, which is ultimately the half of the reason why we actually set this up in the first place. It's literally just a win-win. And even if you don't target these long-term stays, in the winter months, you've got Christmas. That's the biggest thing in December. Now, historically, December is probably one of the most profitable months of the year because over the Christmas period, you can charge a killing. Demand is up. Obviously, everyone's off school, everyone's off work. People are seeing friends and family, spending time with each other, and people need accommodation for that. So your nightly rates can sometimes double across the Christmas period. You've even got New Year's, so New Year's Eve as well. Historically, these dates, the prices are going to go massively up. So there's some massive opportunities that come around the December month. So if you were to pick up a unit within Q4 and you're ready for the Christmas, there's a chance to make some serious profit. So that's why I say that sometimes there is plenty of opportunities, even in the low season. So that's what happens on the guest side of things. But at the other end of the spectrum, with your landlords, there's plenty of opportunities there. People don't tend to move into new places going into the end of the new year. So any properties that are on the market, sometimes landlords start to get a little bit worried and nervous. Cool, am I going to be able to get someone in there? Am I going to have to wait till the new year to find a new tenant? So again, this is opportunity. Because if a property has been on the market and is struggling to be let out, this is where you can come in. You can target these landlords, offer a company let with all the value propositions such as guaranteed rent, and you can very much entice them and get them on board. So this is a great way to acquire units. Again, like landlords' pain points. I always mention this. Like they want their property well maintained and they want their rent to be paid. Quite often these properties are on a buy to let, so they've got a mortgage they need to cover and they want to make a profit on top. So if they've got no one in there, they're at a massive loss. So you can come in and save the day. If you position yourself right, there's an opportunity if you take on these properties that have not been shifting, a lot of sort of dead stock on the market, it's an opportunity for you to come in and take. And even with these properties that are on the market, you may be thinking, well, they're dead stock, nobody else wants them. But don't forget, you don't always have to offer what the asking price is. You can always go in lower. So like quite often for a lot of the properties that I've taken on in the past, like rent to rents, I'm often paying less than what the landlord originally wanted. Maybe it's up for £1,500. You put in a lowball offer at maybe £1,200 and you meet in the middle somewhere, maybe £1,300 or £1,400 a month, and you make yourself a saving and allow yourself to make more profit. So when it comes to sort of this time of the year, there's literally what? You've got about 12 or so weeks left. That's enough time to learn a new business model, get your first unit set up and really start making money. So my advice to anyone who out there who's been thinking about it this year is make the jump now. Make that leap of faith. Try starting with something new. So in January, when you look back at this, you're not having the conversation of starting. The conversation now having is how you're going to scale up. There's nothing worse than saying at the start of the year you want to start something new and you don't end up doing it, and the year goes by and you feel like you've kind of wasted the opportunity. Even for me, there's certain things I still want to do this year, and now we're getting close to the end of the year. I'm like, cool, there's urgency. I need to make sure I hit my goals and get these things done. One of them was even making a YouTube channel this year. Obviously, I've started that. But once you do, you then get momentum. You just get past that first hurdle and then you just keep pushing. So whether or not it is Airbnb that you're looking to do, or it's something else, like learning a new language or starting anything new, a new routine, think about it less and just take the action now, because you never regret it. I've never met anyone who's taken an opportunity and actually taken the action to do something and then regretted doing it later down the line. The biggest cost and regret comes from not actually trying that thing, not taking that leap of faith, and then living with that regret of saying, oh, cool, I wish I tried that. So if you've been watching my videos and you think, yeah, this is something I want to start, but maybe at a later date when I'm ready, this is a reminder that we're now in Q4, 2026 is fast approaching. So use these next 10 to 12 weeks to set up your business and already be on a flying start when the new year does come around. And if you're someone who's thinking about getting started but you don't know where to or how, well, I help people on a one-to-one basis for my mentorship program. And if you want to know a little bit more how it works or see if it would be a good fit for you, I'll leave a link in the description where you can book in a call with myself, see if it's a good fit for you, and if not, I can give you some free advice to kind of go away with and help you get yourself set up. So if you're going to leave this video with anything, Q4 is where the winners are made.